Hey there guys, and welcome to another LoLysis video with me, Squirrel, and I'm going to be covering some of the more relevant patch notes in patch 5.24 that came out earlier today. And we're going to start with the lovely Dr. Mundo now. As hopefully most of you would have realised from patch 5.23, Dr. Mundo was either you pick him or you ban him, just due to because he was stupidly OP with the new mastery system and the fact that he could literally throw cleavers at jungle creeps and get loads and loads and loads of health. It was so dumb, and his E even worked on turrets. That's right, you could use Mundo's E and it would work on structures. That was really dumb. So his Q, which is his cleaver, the current health damage that it does has been nerfed tiny bit per level at ranks 2, 3 and 4, thank god. And then the maximum damage that it can also do to monsters has been nerfed per level as well drastically. So at max rank, instead of doing 700 damage to monsters, it'll only do 500. And then obviously with his E Masticism, it no longer will do damage to structures, and it doesn't, the ratio isn't 5% maximum health. It'll go from 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5 and then to 5% maximum health as you level the skill. So hopefully this will see, I don't think we'll see Mundo in the, I'm hoping we don't see Mundo in the jungle anymore. I still think he's going to be picked, just because he's a pretty decent all-round top laner, but I don't think we'll see him in the jungle anymore. So that could maybe end the Mundo jungle meta, as it were, which is kind of decent because I hated Dr. Mundo. He was like a permaban for me. The next significant thing which I'm going to cover is Hecarim. So his base health got reduced a tiny bit. His health growth stat got reduced a tiny bit as well, but his passive got removed, which is called Warpath, and basically Hecarim's passive was he could pass through unit collision. Since that's been removed, he no longer causes Hecarim to ignore unit collision. However, his E, which is his devastating charge, got this new bit added to it. Hecarim now ignores unit collision while charging, so as soon as you activate Hecarim's E, he will ignore unit collision. Or, to more the point, should ignore unit collision if the minions work properly. Don't quote me on that. So I've been looking on Reddit and there's a bit of a fuss about this going, oh, why'd you remove his passive, now it's on E, and I'm like, people clearly have read this and lost their shit before reading the rest of the patch notes, and we'll get to that why later on. So just scrolling down through this one, Kindred for some reason got a tiny bit of a nerf. The passive healing on her W got a bit of a nerf, which is a bit weird, and then her ultimate, the cooldown, got increased as well early levels, but then gets reduced whenever it's max rank. So I don't know, I don't think Kindred really needed touching that much, honestly, but just my opinion. Kog'Maw, his W attack damage ratio removed, and it has a new pit which is flat damage, and it now deals 2% of the target's maximum health as magic damage. Great, just what we wanted, Kog'Maw with more magic damage. Fantastic, thanks for that. So yeah, then a lot of the other stuff is really just the tiniest damage wise of abilities from mostly seem to be like AP mid laners slightly getting tweaked, which of course if you're an AP mid laner that's going to piss you the hell off, thinking why the fuck are they nerfing more of my mid laners. I don't know, I honestly don't know. However, we're going to move on to Misfortune, who's probably one of the strongest AD carry picks besides maybe Lucian currently at the moment. So the attack speed on her W got a pretty decent nerf from early levels, because instead of going 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, it starts off at 40, then goes to 55, then 70, then 85, then 100%. So that kind of got a big nerf, honestly, for Misfortune. And then her E, Make It Rain slow, percentage slow used to be 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It now goes 28, 36, 44, 52, then 60%. So again, a decent enough nerf there. I think it's not going to make Misfortune as strong, but I think the fact that they haven't touched her Q, which is, in my opinion, what does the most damage and is the ability you max first on Misfortune, she's still going to be a strong pick. So yeah. So Nidalee was once Queen of the Jungle, has also got a tiny bit of a tweak. So the damage on her Q early levels has gone up, so that's Javelin Toss. So it used to be 50, 70, 90, 110, 130. It now goes 60, 77.5, 95, 112.5, then 130. And then the maximum damage it can do also got buffed a tiny bit, so instead of it being 150, 210, 270, 330, 390, it now goes 180, 232.5, 285, 337.5 and 390. So I don't know if we're going to see Nidalee come back. I mean, I don't think she was ever bad, but against like most of the junglers that were OP currently, like Mundo and Quinn, like generally assassins, Nidalee's going to probably get wrecked, so I wouldn't expect to see Nidalee too much, but hey, she got a tiny buff, so it might compensate a bit. Quinn. Now, Quinn has been the champion I've mained as top, AD carry and jungle for the pretty much all of the last patch, honestly. Like, I've been doing ranked with her and pretty much winning every game. Yes, she's pretty much freeload champion, but you still need to know how to build her and how to play her, I think, to use her effectively, but her base attack damage has dropped by 2. That's right, 2. Just 2.00. Jesus Christ. But then her Q Blinding Assault base damage also dropped. It used to start at 25, then 55, 85, 115, 145. It now goes 20, 45, 70, 95 and 120. And the attack damage ratio that it had used to start at 0.8, then go to 0.95, 1.1, 1.25 and 1.4. It now goes like this: 0.8, so still the same, 0.9, still roughly the same, 1.0, 1.1 and then 1.2. So the last two like ratio ranks of that, they get a tiny bit of a nerf, and then the mana cost of Q used to be 50 at all levels. It now goes 50, 55, 60, 65 and 70. So the damage got a bit of a nerf and the mana cost per level went up. Honestly, the fact that the new Assassin Mastery is in and Thunderlord's Decree and another one in the Cunning Tree got slightly buffed, I still think people are still going to play Quinn. This nerf, in my opinion, isn't big enough to stop people playing Quinn. Honestly, I still think she'll be really strong. I think if they nerf her, I mean, she did need a nerf, let's be honest, she really did. And Q's probably one of the only abilities they can nerf, unless they remove something from one of the other abilities. But if they nerfed Q anymore, it might have made her almost unplayable. But we're still going to see Quinn. Just my honest opinion. But hey, and a lot of things are champions' base health regen going up. It's mainly just ratio damages going up and down on a lot of things, mainly AD carries, mid laners. But now we come to Soraka, one of the other champions that I always wanted to be permabanned because it was so fucking dumb. So let's get into some of these changes. So Soraka's Q Star Call, it range used to be 950, it's now at 800. Her W Astral Infusion, which I believe is the heal, just don't quote me on that, I don't play Soraka, I don't like Soraka. It used to be, the mana cost for her W used to be 20, 25, 30, 35 and 40, so fairly fucking cheap. It's now 40, 45, 50, 55 and 60. So while yes, you can still use it to heal people, you won't be able to do it as often unless you're able to hit whatever fucking ability it is that Soraka has that allows you to get mana back. I don't remember what it is, I don't like Soraka, so fuck Soraka. But this is an interesting one, which is gonna... anyone that does grievous wounds damage or buys an item that does grievous wounds is gonna fucking love this change. Soraka's ult no longer removes grievous wounds. Thank fuck for that. Because I wonder how many times you've been in the situation where you would have killed X champion, Y champion with any sort of grievous wounds, but whoa, lo and behold, Soraka ult saves your ass and removes it, which was dumb as fuck. Now it doesn't, and I'm really happy with that. Okay, so Tahm Kench, this change, I think he needed maybe a change, because it's always like, Tahm Kench, why the fuck didn't you ban Tahm Kench? Is literally save your AD carry, very unfun champion. But the change that was made is to his W, which is his Devour, which is when he eats an enemy or friendly champion. So Tahm Kench will no longer gain movement speed when moving away from enemies while he is carrying an allied champion. Happy days, so hopefully now you'll be able to catch him if he eats an allied champion, and you might even get a double kill if you're extremely lucky. So now that most of the champion stuff has gone over and down, they've tuned the jungle monsters a tiny bit, just mainly by the health they get per level and the armor. It's mainly health and armor they've changed on some of them, just to make them, while they have slightly more health, because they'll have less armor or MR, they'll be easier to kill as you level up, so it's not too bad. And then the Rift Herald got execution removed, which was when the eye no longer stays open in execute range, but it did get two nice things added to it. Basically, when you now kill the Rift Herald, it will grant Doom's Eve. So instead of the Rift Herald now drops an eye relic on the ground for the killing team, granting Doom's Eve. So basically, to make it in simpler terms, kill Rift Herald, it's going to drop an item. Whoever picks up that item gets the buff for the lane. Simple as that. So instead of now, it used to be whoever killed it got the buff, and 9 times out of 10 for me, it would be me having to kill it because my top laner couldn't fucking kill it because he would get shafted by the damage. So that's a nice change. And now the Rift Herald will also grant Nunu a buff when consumed. I can't see Nunu really wanting to eat the Rift Herald because you'd rather have the buff on a laner, but hey, what do I know. So we're going to move on to wards now. Most of these are like bug fixes essentially. So we have one where it fixed a bug where the amount of vision given by a ward wasn't accurately represented by the range indicator. Nice. They have fixed an issue where the amount of vision given by different types of wards were different based on the type, so etc. like trinket, green, pink, blue, etc. So we're now going to get more rewarding. I see what you did there. So the amount of time before a ward regains vision after being disabled by a lens has been extended by 1 second. That's not too bad actually. I actually quite like that, but it depends whether people actually use the Orgle's iteration lens, aka Red Trinket, or not. But hey, I like this one though. No more Scarabouche. Go to Reddit and look at the thread in case you aren't familiar with what that actually means. But basically, wards that are targeted within 25 units of the brush will now seek out and plant themselves into the brush instead. Nice. And then I don't know why this was ever a thing. Spaghetti code maybe, but this last one was monsters can no longer push away wards in their path outside of their starting position. Not sure if that was meant to say starting, but it says starting, so we're going to roll with it. Next really just comes down to items. A banner of command, the tooltip when I tell you how much gold promoted minions have given you. Dead Man's Plate got 100 health removed from it. Ginter's Rage Blade Air of Effect got reduced by 100 as well. Essence Reaver, probably the most bought item for 80 carries last patch, because due to Infinity Edge getting the nerf from it, people were either going BF Sword then Zeal then completing an item, but majority of times on caster 80 carries like Lucian, Ezreal, Misfortune, even Quinn I done this on, they went Essence Reaver first. So basically, the maximum 20% bonus cooldown reduction is now reached at 30% crit strike chance from other sources. It used to be 20%, it's now went up to 30%. And that bonus cooldown reduction per point of crit strike chance from other sources now increases as critical strike chance from other sources increases. So i.e. it's no longer a flat value. So the example they've given here is at 20% crit strike chance from other sources, and then brackets 2/3 of the max, Essence Reaver grants 10% cooldown reduction, half of the max. So it's not too bad. I mean, there's people are still going to buy Essence Reaver, let's be honest here. If you don't, I think you're going to be a tiny bit stupid. But then we have, like, some of the other item changes which I don't get. Trinity Force's combined cost is now 200, not 300. Fuck knows. This is probably mostly to do with Zeal's cost, total cost going up from 1200 to 1300, and a combined cost for it being 600 now, not 500. But the reason that they say here we don't want to delay marksmen from participating in the game for too long. Right. Despite the fact marksmen's 80 carries being the quote-unquote main source of damage in this patch, or at least that's the direction that they've looked like they've been wanting to go. So, like, let's be honest, as soon as like 80 carries get one fucking item, they're gonna wreck face as long as they don't do stupid shit. That's literally it. But a nice one here is damage from Kyric's Shard, Static Shiv, and Rapid Fire Cannon no longer stack, but the effects still do. So that's kind of interesting. Phantom Dancer's attack speed is went from 40 to 45%. I don't know how much that's going to affect it. I mean, I stopped buying Phantom Dancer ever since, like, remember back when like the new preseason came out and it was disabled, and then Static Shiv was OP, and still kind of is, and then Fire Cannon was there. I don't know how much love Phantom Dancer is really going to get, but I guess we'll see how the patch goes on. Now we're going to go to Farsight alteration, which is the blue trinket. The cooldown for the blue trinket used to be 61 to 48 seconds at levels 9 to 18. It's now 90 to 60. It starts at 90, goes to 60 seconds at levels 9 to 18. But the big change I think here is the ward vision radius used to be 900. Now it's 500. And due to the fact that it doesn't give us bigger radius anymore, I don't know. Like, I still think you're still going to want to say to your AD carry later on in the game, please get blue trinket, because it's really, really useful. It's useful to have maybe one, but I don't think it's maybe useful now to have more than one due to some of these changes, honestly. But we're going to come down to masteries now. Again, some very big changes, mainly to the Keystone Mastery, Fervor of Battle. So the two things that got removed were minion stacking, which used to be at now only stacks on champion hits, and the only thing that got removed was using abilities no longer grants stacks of Fervor. And it now has two new things added to it, which now are melee stacks now grant double stacks of Fervor, and hitting an enemy champion with an ability grants 2 stacks, and that has a 2-second cooldown. And it also now has a nice particle effect when you hit max stacks. Hooray! And Deathfire Touch, the AP Keystone, seems to have gotten a slight nerf. RIP AP champions. Basically, instead of the duration being 3 seconds, it's now 4. The effect duration went up by half a second, and the persistent damage duration went down by half a second. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Sorry, if you play AP champions. Oh dear. But we're going to move on to the Cunning Tree now, and they've added a new mastery which goes along the same line as the Cookie and Buff Duration Mastery, and this one's called Assassin. And this is how it works. You deal 1.5% increased damage when no allied champions are near you, so if you're a top laner, jungler, or a mid laner, you're probably going to take this rather than having cookies. Or buff duration, like, let's be honest, it's way more beneficial. Like, even if you're not quote-unquote an assassin, why would you not want to do like nearly 2% more damage when you're trying to 1v1 somebody? That's huge! That is absolutely massive. That's probably going to be one of the most picked masteries in that fucking tree. I honestly, like, if you're going with that and Thunderlord's Decree, which is obviously the one where if you deal 30% of champions fucking health, you chunk them, and obviously it stacks off bonus AD damage, which I'm going to talk about in a few seconds. But if you do Assassin and Thunderlord's Decree, people are mainly going to like 12-18-0. Especially if you're an Assassin, you're probably going to go 12-18-0 because you're going to absolutely one-shot people, especially if you're AD. But the next one, mastery that got changed, is called Precision, which is the one above before you pick the Keystone Mastery. Armor Penetration, it used to be 3 plus 0.3 per level, it's now 5 plus 0.5 per level, and that's Armor Penetration. Rito, we get the point. You really want people to play AD champions, we get it. AP mid laners are not happy. Stop. And then we go down to Thunderlord's Decree. It used to have a 0.2 bonus attack damage, now it has 0.3. The slightest of buffs, but it's not broken, but holy fuck, it's really, really strong. If you're going down that tree and you want to one-shot somebody, or you're an assassin, you're going to pick Thunderlord's Decree, you're not going to pick anything else. It's so dumb. The Resolve tree, some of them got like a few tweaks to it, mainly like they're not really worth talking about unless you're talking about Tough Skin, which got fixed because there was a bug with it where Tough Skin was reducing all damage from champions rather than basic attacks. Oh dear. But we're going to come to one of the last changes, actually no, it's the very last change in this video, and it's probably the most important. Pathing, everyone. Rito has changed all minion pathing, so basically all changes that were made in 5.22 and 5.23 have been reverted. We're right back to pre-season, so that's pre-season, while they work on a better implementation, because as soon as 5.22 and 5.23 hit, people were fucking pissed off with minions and pathing and creep block. They didn't like it. Rito done fucked up. They've undone all of that, and they're now back to quote-unquote normal, I hope. So yeah, hopefully that's fixed now. But anyway guys, thank you for tuning in to the 5.24 patch notes with me, Squirrel. Feel free to leave a like, a comment and subscribe, and I shall see you all next time.